Right, here we go. So, oh, what's happening? It's just crapping itself. So I've got a sort of fixed-ish St Andrews. Oh, it does not like streaming at the same time. Anyway, so from the sort of initial, you can see you got a spline here. So this area here will be a good example of it'll need 3D grass. There's no rough spline there or anything, as I can see. Same over here, it's just bare terrain. Oh, there is a spline there, sorry. So that bit's splined, this bit's terrain, and that bit's splined. So this piece here we'll want to use. So first things first, I don't think I've got it in the package as of yet. I haven't got any of it in there yet. So import our package, which is terrain to mesh. Probably should have done this in advance. I don't know how long it'll take. I've been getting rid of example scenes purely because we keep having these 4K things and like splat alphas and stuff, but I'm looking at that now. I don't think there's anything there you need. Let's make sure this is working. Why have we got no data here? What the hell's going on? Keep an eye on it. Poor old 1050 getting some hammer. So we've got that. Come on. You finished? I'll also import while I think about it. Have I even got the sticks on here yet? No. So you'll need the terrain to mesh, you'll need the sticks, grass shader, again, get rid of the damn example ones. There's some horrible 4K stuff and all sorts of things. Some of this in here might be quite useful, but I've never used it as of yet. There's animations and game scenes and materials you might want at some point, but not for now. You'll be able to skip past this bit, Stinger. Right, so stick shader, and also while I'm there, I'll have DPR's grass material package. Right, so that's the boring bit. So tool, what is it? Window, vacuum shaders, terrain to mesh. So in here, I export a splat map. This in its original resolution, PNG. A base map at 2K. Don't export per chunk. Don't bother with a height map. Don't do trees. Export a Unity mesh. I do 10 by 10 and 100 by 100. That'll give you, as you can see. This I'm still not sure about. It's 10,000 vertex but 19,000 triangles. I don't know. We might be able to trim that down a bit, but it seems to be okay for the time being. Then just drag the old terrain in up to the top there. Make sure that's all good, and generate. Oh, that shader I put as standard as well. I think it's normally on default, but I've been changing to that. I don't know if it makes any difference. Just check my stream's okay. Yep, good. And that's the first bit done. So, what you'll now have is this terrain object down here, which has got meshes within it, and then 100 chunks, which this is the prefab over in your project folder. You'll see as part of it, it's generated you a splat map, another splat map, and another splat map, as well as a text, a baseline image, which is like the like a new overhead in 4-channel, a normal, which is by the by, and the material which is already applied to this the prefab. So regarding your splat maps, you'll see you've got effectively 4 on each one. So you've got 4 on there. There'll be 4 on there, red, green, blue, and then alpha, so no colour. And then there's probably 2 on there, the red and then the alpha. So you compare that to the terrain, you've got 1, 2, 3 and 4, which represent alpha 0, 0. You've got 5, 6, 7 and 8, which will be the 4 colours on this one. And then you've got one other colour, which is your grey, which will be this bit of red down here. So, say we want to put 3D grass on effectively this area here. That will correspond to, by the looks of it, I think this is where it gets a little bit awkward. Is it this one? Yeah, it's not that one. Oh, we can't undo it now. So it's this texture here by the looks of it, yeah. So it's the green channel, I believe, on Splat Alpha 0, 0, which would make sense. So I'm going to be putting 3D grass on all these green bits eventually. That's the plan initially, but we'll come to that bit. So back to your meshy area, your new terrain ID, blah blah. I raise this up sort of 20 odd, and then raise up, and there you can see what you've made. like that, and there's all your grids and all the stuff. Now, from that you can work out what you want to do. If you want to you can sort of pick one and delete it out because you know you're not going to need it, and that'll vanish out of the way, and you can now see the one below it. Oops. This is the kind of annoying bit because you miss it quite a lot. So it's easier to go sort of when you go in a bit. It does seem to pick it up better. So yeah, it's like that one. See, it doesn't seem to take it very well. Seems to be quite hard to pick. Oh, there you are. So you want to keep that one, you see, because you'll probably need that. Whereas that one over there, you're probably not going to need that. You can delete them out and you can see it vanish in there. Another way you can do it, now you know you want that green segment, is on the material. If you change the shader from this one, from the 8 texture one, to standard, and then drag that in as your albedo, you can do it that way. And that's probably easier, so you can then pick out, and that's going to clip a bit, that's going to clip a bit, that one's not, so that can go. You can control click and take them out. I do this at this stage. You could do it afterwards once you've done your. Make sure that's clicked, and then it does pick them easier. That was the. Oops. Go. If you've got probably a better computer, it's probably a bit faster. This isn't going to be the most entertaining piece to watch, but I should do it properly, and it's done. Oh dear. Don't accidentally click your terrain, because then you'll delete the one beneath it. Always make sure you have Control Z on the go. So I'll click the terrain in there. You can sort of see it, if you do accidentally click, you'll see it pick up in the hierarchy down there anyway. I think you can also do like if you moved it well away from your terrain, you might even be able to sort of do one of them. Which is probably quite nifty. I generally leave these bits where it's covering the course at all, just because you don't know, you don't always know at this stage exactly what you're going to need. So I know this bit I'm probably not going to cover this dark red, but you could leave them in if you really wanted to. Picking up a damn ocean tile, there you go. That one, and that one can go. I think that's probably it for these bits. And that'll do probably. So if you wanted to, now you could go back into your texture. You change that back to use 6 texture, I think it was, yeah. If you really want to, you can change it back to that. Yeah, so that's your I personally, I think I prefer it just being left to that. So, where do we go from here? So that'll end up being your mesh. You can, if you want, copy that over to your prefab now, I think, but whatever. So drop that back down to 0. And that's it sitting under your terrain. Now, obviously at the moment it's going to clash and whatnot, but you can, if you raise it up just a little bit, 1 normally does it, you can see where roughly your 3D grass, if you put it on the green, is going to end up on the green channel. So there'll be bits and bobs there, there'll be some under the meshes. If you go up a little bit more, you'll see some of it will be underneath the meshes, that won't matter because it'll be covered, but if you really wanted to, you can tidy it up. Like there, you'll miss the odd bit, so there's a big chunk there where that'll miss, but there may well be some, because I'm still on instance trees, so they'll be not showing at the minute. Anyway, so we'll head back down to the area where we started, and you'll see it's all in the green. You'll see there's different shades of green there. There must have been another texture he applied. That'll become a shade of grey, so it'll be fine. So the next step is to turn this splat map into effectively a density planting map for the grass material. So I right click that, show in Explorer, I'll then copy that, put it on my desktop with all my other junk, and then I'll open that with Photoshop. We're still going on thing, yeah. And this is what you're presented with initially, which is not much help. So I try and remember. So it's layer mask from transparency, and then layer mask disable, and it turns it back into that. And here you now see you've got your layers, which I don't worry about, but you've got your 4 channels. So you've got the combined channel, which is currently made out, but you've also got, if you turn these off, there you have it. So now you've now got, this would have been your red channel, so everything that's white corresponds to the red bit on your splat map. And if you put that texture as a density mask, it would paint loads of grass in all the white bits, a bit of grass in these grey bits, less dense, and no grass in the black bits. We don't want the red channel, we want the green channel, which is that. So as you can see, it will put no grass in the black bits, and then varying levels from white to grey. And that bit we saw earlier, which was patchy, you can see still maintains the patchiness that it had before, which you can either leave if you want to, or not. So now you've got that, what do we do now? Alright, yep, so do I just convert this now? If you want to have, like, say you want to have the blue bits as well, which would be, there aren't really any on this one, there must not be much of the texture, but I dare say there's bits in there that the blue, you could also have them as well, and then you will convert the image to grayscale in a minute anyway. So pick your channels, same with that, you can pick those 2 bits. I can't remember exactly what the alpha one is, but there's a way, I can't remember. DPR did say about what you do for, oh, that was it, you create a density thing and stuff like that. But anyway, we'll do this green one. There's more advanced levels of this that you can get into. So that, now this, I then, what did I do here? Do I save it as, I think image, I think I normally go image mode, then just go grayscale. Yeah, it discards, oh, no, that's not what I do. Adjustments. No, what do I do here? Do I copy and paste as a new image? Right, Control A, new. I didn't do this last time, I can't remember exactly what I did. How did I get this to a... I'm sure I just converted it to... I just converted it to a grayscale. Image adjustments black and white. But that's not there. How did I do this? I did do a new, I'm sure I didn't do a new image, you know. So then delete the channels. No. What did I do? Damn you. That's why did I export? No. There's a step I'm forgetting. I'm going to have to cheat and look up. Might be a good thing. Copied and pasted each other. Yeah. I can't remember how. Yes, I have missed a step, sorry. So anyway, you've got that in there. Back into Unity. Oh, this is for the painting. So, no, that was right. Sorry, I missed a step out. Select all your mesh objects. Add component for the time being. Grass renderer. We might not need this at the time being. I've been going 1 on the normalize and doing that, and then add in our rough material. Oh, for God's sake. You'd have thought, having done this so many damn times, I'd have got this sorted by now, but not to be. Adding a rough. And you'll see at the minute, I should imagine, it's putting grass everywhere. Yeah, it is. So, let's turn those off. if we click on one of these and go into the grass painter, I think we've been putting that at 2K. You can then create a density texture. That's right, yeah, that's the bit I've missed. So you just call that whatever you want. Andrew's density. Right. So, where do I save that? Don't need that anymore. So I get that one. We open this one with Photoshop. That's right. And then, so we now got a layer. Control A. Edge your density. And then, how did we do this? Okay, I had this damn problem before. Why isn't it fucking working? Why won't you work? Copy, paste. Why aren't you working? Why aren't you working? Doesn't help being a Photoshop novice. Copy that, edit. Why won't it let me paste it? Oh, this is doing me head in. What have I done wrong? 248. Yeah, weird. See, this is, I'm sure this is what I did last time. So I picked it in here, image, adjust mode, grayscale, flatten layers okay, discard over channels. No, it's not right. Why is it doing that? Pick the layer you want, mode, grayscale. Okay, okay. Yes. You'll have to excuse that. It's I don't know my way around Photoshop. So you have to click on the channel. So once you've got the one you want, click on the one you want. Or even, I think if you do the two, I don't know if you can do it with the two that you want. I think if you want to do two, you then have to copy it across. But I only want one. Alright, image. Right, so now Control A, Control C, Control V. Why won't it paste into this damn... There you are, click on the damn layer. Right, So there we have it. We finally got our St Andrews density map in black and white. So back to Unity. Back into our material that we applied. Change the mode to texture density. And see, it's currently this St Andrews density, which is currently white. We've now copied that across. If you do Control E, which I believe is export. Can you do export on this? I might have been GIMP doing that. Yeah, replace that PNG anyway with that. See, it's now in there as your grass density texture, and it's now only on the green bit. Well, it leaks a bit, but only now on the green bit. Doesn't go on the red bits, only on the green bits. And that's basically that. You can what I like to do, to be fair, is now I change the material, change my albedo in here to also use my density one. So now you can see there's going to be grass on the whitey bits. You see it's quite white at the minute. You can adjust that to, we've got some bits here which it isn't drawing any grass on, which is good. I don't quite know why it's not drawing grass on those. You can see all around here it's drawing. And that's where it's going to be. So now on all these terrain meshes, you can see they're all visible and messy at the minute. Select them all, and you can turn off the mesh renderer, and I'll make them disappear. But the good thing is, even though they're gone, in terms of the mesh, the grass is still all there. I think I had them raised up a bit as well, so, yeah, so you can set that back to 0 and it'll drop it down. And that's basically that. You can then, I think the other thing, if you want to do it with colours, this is the bit I was having trouble getting to work. Get rid of your glass floor, which I think was just because that was defaulted from the material we had before. Change that to none. That makes it go all a bit funky, and I think this one, put that to that base map, should colour it a bit. I'm not quite happy. See, this is what I had before, and I didn't like it. I don't like that personally. I can never get it to quite work right. But what I do is, you know what texture the base this was, because it's the one you picked off of the terrain. So it was this one we went for. Which was terrain ban 0. Terrain ban 0. So back into the splines, into the rough. It might be because I'm a floor colour greyed out, to be honest. There's that one. So I just changed it to that because I've only done a single texture replacement. Generally it blends in pretty well. You can then tweak obviously your grass blade colour if you want it to look a little bit more like it. And adjust your heights and all that good stuff. You will see, like for instance here, it's leaking through. I'm guessing this was like an Easy Road spline, possibly, or that might be that bit of concrete painting where it sort of bleeds. I don't quite know exactly what's going on with that, but those bits you can tidy up. That was a spline anyway. In here I'm guessing this is a spline. Of course I only did it on one, you see there's bits where it hasn't got, but that's, I believe, is covered in detail grass. If you wanted to do more areas you could get it to cover that if you wanted. See there's a bit there between two splines. Once you 3D grass these two splines, that should all blend together pretty well. And that is about it really. I'll just show you how I edit it. If you go back to your material, there's probably a better way of doing it than this, but back into your material, so you've still got your density map on there. So if you raise this up, yeah, you have to raise that back up. You turn your renderers back on, so you can see it. It's a bit high on this course. Not 0.1 seems to be quite nice. Yeah, you can see his texture painting wasn't very good. He must have a bit of painted terrain there. But say, like in here, is there a road there? Yeah, he's got a road in there. So you won't want any grass in this bit. This might be quite a good bit. So you can try and work out, if you zoom right up, roughly sort of where you are in relation to your Unity, your picture. Excuse me. So you can see this bit here. You probably don't want any grass there. I probably could have taken that out, to be fair, by using, I should imagine that was what this splat map here was. I don't know actually. No, I don't really know. But anyway, we can paint that bit out if we want. So it's basically the white line that goes across, which is down here. So we zoom in a touch. Where's my old colour dropper on Unity? There. Your paintbrush. I'm guessing that's paintbrush. Is that paintbrush? No, that's paintbrush. Soap. Is it black now? Yeah. Get your paintbrush. Why is it doing it white? History brush. Where's normal damn paintbrush? What the hell's going on? Oh, there we are. Better. rubbish with paint shop. Good old GIMP. Give me GIMP any day. Right, so yeah, if you want, you can then just paint these bits out with your black. I'm sure it was must have been in GIMP there. Quick export over the top. Save it over the top of it. You can see that now becomes black. And you don't have any grass there. Which I think is pretty nifty. You can actually use the painter tool because we saved it to the thing. I prefer doing it that way. That's just my personal way. As much as I'm showing a lack of control, that's my personal way of doing it. If you go on to the tile and open the grass painter, you can use this to remove grass, I believe. Is it working? I'm guessing it's channel 1. It doesn't appear to be working. No, I don't use. I've not used it. That's one for DPR to explain to you with that. You can see basically the level of whiteness will control this density, I believe. You've got the usual material settings. I think if you go to your image and adjustments, is it in black and white? Brightness, contrast, maybe. Yeah, not do that. I did find a way to lower that whole down. I'm sure this is black and white. We're not in black and white yet. Ah, it's because I'm still in I must still be in RGB before. I'm sure when you get it into black and white you can turn the, it's not doing all of the greys though. But anyway, I won't bore you, but you can basically tone those greys and whites down, and if you know what you're doing in Photoshop more than I, you can work it out. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. Sorry about the balls up along the way. Hopefully that makes sense. Cheers.